The engine bay of my 1980 Opel Kadett historic rally car completely stripped out, I could now clean down the chassis legs and prepare them for stitch welds along all the seams. These turrets where the front struts are mounted, they miss the inner wing and chassis leg by quite a distance on the inside. Now you can see in the background of this shot I've got some rust to deal with right in that corner. It was covered by that huge volume of sealant which has been there since day one, and I have a suspicion these cars showed up an issue in this area in early production, and the response was just to absolutely cake them in sealant. You can see there in the corner where the chassis leg meets the bulkhead, it's a couple of centimeters thick. Now this support going down to what the lower wishbones are mounted to, I really want to get some strength in here. There are no plates homologated for this car for reinforcing it in the era of historics that I want to build it for. If this was a Nova from the later category of historics, there's actually quite a lot of reinforcing plates that can be welded in. So you mightn't even go as far in terms of stitch welding a Nova because you've got actual plates to weld in. But I'm going to have to go as far as I can with the stitch welding along the seams to get strength into this car, because I'm not actually allowed to weld in plates. I think in the slightly later homologation, which would put me in against those Corsas and Novas, there is a reinforcing for the strut top, but if I go for that, there's a lot else I can't do. So if I stick to the earlier homologation, I'll be up against cars that are similarly restricted in the modifications that they can do. I'm studying this stuff day and night at the moment, and I won't I'm not going to make any declarations because I'm changing my mind, and when I settle on exactly what I'm doing, I might do a separate video just about the homologations and the decisions I've made, and we'll be able to look at it all when the car is complete as well, and we'll have made a decision by then, but it's still dynamic at the moment. In the meantime, I've got those washer jets out of the way, and there's all the soundproofing inside in the scuttle area. Cadets often have a leak from in here into the interior, so it'd be great to remove this. You can see it's barely attached. This stuff was really just a sound insulation. I can strategically use some sealant where it's necessary to prevent any leaks, and there's a little bit of weight I can get back. I could have decided not to go seam welding this car, especially if I was to stick to just doing tarmac rallies, but I've actually been watching the coverage of the 2023 Roger Albert Clark rally and finding that quite inspiring. So I've got a mind that this car may actually make it out on gravel, so I really do need to put in this strength. It'll keep the options open for what I'll be able to do with this car when it's completed, and make it last much longer. It's possible if I hadn't been doing this, I might not have cleaned back as far, and I might not have discovered this rust, which is in like critically important areas for the structural integrity of the nose of the car, with the front suspension mounted to it. So I'm glad I've gone this far, even if it's delaying the finish of the project. I'm going to weld up as much as I can before I tackle the repairs, so I'm putting the strength in that's going to hold everything in position before I cut out any metal and make repairs. I think this is probably the best way of going about it. I'm pulsing the welder as I do these stitches because there's so much contaminant in the actual seams that I can't get out from the cleaning, that stopping and starting like this just lets the weld get a little bit ahead of the burning, and that kind of initial rush of gas is still effective, whereas if we go continuously, I think I'm losing all the gas to flames and not getting a clean weld. So this is the best I can do with a car that hasn't been dipped, I guess. The original welds are all still there, so this is all just a bonus. You can actually see the backs of some of the wells from the interior there. So certainly getting full penetration anyway doing this. I have to admit, I do like this process. You really engage with every inch of your car, and you know, you learn it, and you're taking ownership of the entire structure. Interesting, at the back of this box section going out from the A pillar, there's actually MIG wells that are there from the factory. So that's how they attached that. So part of these cars was handmade, and they don't look much different to my wells 43 years later. I'm using the airline to stop the sealant around the wells from burning. Now into the engine bay to do the welding from the inside. I mean, when you imagine this car, say, coming down off a nose-heavy jump with hard front suspension, you definitely would be inclined to make this area as strong as possible. There's 3 intersections of metal here. The inner wing and a section of the back of the wheel arch from inside the interior of the car, and then the bulkhead joins just on top of that, so there's only a couple of centimeters between them. I'm doing the inner wheel arch to the back of the wheel arch section first. I'll probably fix this rust with 2 repair sections. This piece that I'm welding now will probably remain between them, so it's quite an important weld to keep everything in place. This will be on the other side of a lower repair, which I'll bring right out over the seam, so there will be new spot welds and this stitch weld pattern. I'm not just gonna cut stuff out and replace the original structure with stitch welds. That wouldn't really be reinforcing, that would be just replacement. Starting on the strut tower, nice and tight at this point, but you can see it as it goes over the edge, how it separates. So it'll be nice to bridge that. Definitely think that will improve things here. Gotta clean the paint out from between the 2 surfaces. I have to do a couple of stitches to join across that gap. As you can see, there's quite a bit of weld gone in there. I've got more cleaning to do along the top of the chassis leg where it meets the inner wing. I'll work away on that now. Otherwise, there'll be just a serious amount of smoke. This really oily stuff. This is aftermarket, I think. Most of the sealant in that area. Oh, there's one thing there left in the engine bay. This is the pivot point for the bonnet support. It's got 3 little plastic dowels in it, so I'm drilling them out smaller than the plastic dowel, so I might have to reuse them, and I'll pull them out with a screw. After I've done the front chassis legs and inner wings, I'll be going at that bulkhead. So just a screw going down into that little plastic dowel. These 2 literally just have the dowel. The one on the back is more like a kind of a poppet a clip that you'd have, say, on your door cards, or maybe, you know, those kind of plastic covers you get over scuttle panels on more modern cars. It'll come out the same way. They're going into a void, that so I can't get at the other side. I couldn't just knock them through, I'd have lost them. I will have to just knock this one through, but I think I'll be able to get a clip similar to that to replace this one. Few areas that the wire wheel on the grinder couldn't get into. It scrapes off quite easily with the screwdriver. Here's another big pool of sealant. That's on the edge of the steering rack mounting. So I want to reinforce those too. I heard from the Roger Albert Clark Historic Rally that a number of cars actually damaged their steering racks on a bad bump at the bridge. So I think this work is worthwhile. There's two pieces of steel for the chassis leg and then the inner wing. So there's actually three pieces meeting here. I'm getting a bit more confident in the welding as well, and doing these continuously and swirling the weld pool to extend it over the two seams. That's the end weld being done. I'll do one more now between that and the second last one and repeat this work on the other side.